you like it when people call your names and say, "Hi Nancy, how you doing today?" Or they'll come up to you and they'll say, "Hey, I was just wondering, how are things going?" They know you. They have created a relationship with you. They understand a little bit about what is public in your life, and they want to be able to share it with you. I love that. I think that's great. It's so much better than people just walking by and not paying any attention, or shoving things at you that you don't want to have anything to do with. And that's what it's all about when you talk about relationship selling. Hi, everybody. I'm Nancy Becker, and I'm the Chief Flying Pig Wrangler for Business Success Unlimited. I am here to create relationships. I believe totally that it's all about knowing other people, being able to support them, share with them, give them the things they want and need, and make a better life for everyone in our businesses, particularly. Does that sound good? I know it does for me. There used to be a women's clothing store here in my little town where I'm still living for the next 2 weeks. And it was the most horrible experience in the world going into that store. Not because they didn't have nice things. They had beautiful clothes, expensive clothes, nice things that were modern and people would want to buy. But there was never anyone in the store. Why? I'll tell you. You would walk into the store, and before you even get your feet inside the door and the door closed, there would be one or two women pouncing on you. And they would say, "How are you today? And what can we help you with?" And they were asking you all the questions. And as an example, you might say, "Well, I'm here looking for a pair of black dress pants." Simple enough, right? "We've got exactly what you need. No problem. Come on." Wouldn't ask size. None of that. And they'd haul you over to a clothing area that had nothing but ball gowns. "There's black pants in here?" "I don't see any black pants. All I see are dresses for, mother of the bride kind of thing." "That's not what I want." "Oh, well, okay. Let's see. I'll try to find something else for you." And so then they'd haul you off to another area. And you may need to wear a size 18 and they'd pull out a size 2, or vice versa. It was all about the sale. It was not about, "Well, what do you want this piece of clothing for? What size do you wear?" Seems to me that would be one of the first questions someone would ask is, "Let's see if we've got your size. Why do you want this piece of clothing? Is it for a formal occasion, or is it just for going out to dinner? What's it for?" But their boss had made it so that they had to sell. If they wanted to get paid, they had to have something sold so that they could make a commission and they would keep their job. If they did not sell, they didn't keep their job. Simple as that. The boss did not understand that by making those women do that kind of sales process, he actually was running the women out of town. It was the one and only dress store in town, so you would think he would make a lot of business. Actually, there were two dress stores. One was the father and one was the son. And the father's store had more older women's clothes. The son's store had more younger women's clothes. Okay. But they both operated the exact same way. Guess what? They both went out of business because people literally would drive an hour out of town to go to the nearest large city where there were shopping malls. They went out of business. They could not survive in that kind of an environment. Think about it as though they said, hey, tell us a little bit about what's going on. They might have a coffee center where you could go get a glass of water or a cup of coffee while you're walking through the store looking at the beautiful clothing. You know, they might have put benches in where you could sit and contemplate what it was you wanted to buy. They might have had the women asking questions about why you were in there and what kind of experiences had you had before and what were you looking for, all those kinds of things. But no, they went out of business. You have to think about all of those things when you're trying to build a relationship with people for your business. That's what it's all about these days. You can't just, you know, see somebody's put up a post on Facebook or LinkedIn and they've mentioned something, and you can't just start calling. Tell you another story. We're in the process of moving and we're renting our house. And I want to make sure that all of the appliances and everything in the house are going to work properly the way they're supposed to before we leave. There were 2 or 3 different companies that came up on a Google search where I was looking for home warranty programs. And the first one that came up said it was the number 1 rated warranty program there was. So I said, okay, well, let me get some information. I started to type in a form on the computer before, and I don't know how the heck they did this, but before I had even sent the click for it to go, email or whatever it was, I was getting a phone call. Somebody wanting to sell me this program. They didn't want to answer my questions. They were just, this is what we do. This is that, bam, 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 all of these things. And I said, okay, fine. Thank you. I think I've got enough information. If I'm interested, I will call you back. Goodbye. Click. Within 24 hours, I had over 50 phone calls from different people with that company trying to sell me their programs. In fact, I was on one call saying, go away. I'm going to turn you over to the Federal Trade Commission or whatever it is. I'm yelling at the people, telling them that, as another call comes in from a different person trying to sell the same program. I will never buy from that company ever. And I will definitely tell people the name of that company if I'm asked, because I don't want you going through the same thing that I just went through. They may be the best. They may have the best warranty. They may cover it the best. I'm not going to use them. No way. The relationship they built with me was not a good one. And because of that, they've lost a potential customer. Do you think of those things when you're trying to connect with new people? Just got into a discussion in a Facebook group a couple of days ago. It seems that one of the favorite new statements that you see in groups is a question that says, "What is your biggest struggle in business?" Legitimate question. And I will tell you, I have wanted to do research in the past, and I have wanted to ask questions, and I've wanted to get answers from people. Perfectly acceptable, right? Except so many people are using that exact statement to find out what it is you need. And then they're calling you or texting you or sending you a private message of some sort saying, "Hey, I saw where your challenge was X, Y, and Z. I'm here to help you. Can I sign you up on my contract?" Without knowing a single thing about that person, except that that person said they wanted something. Their biggest challenge was they were afraid of doing lives. Their biggest challenge was they needed to have more income coming in. Their biggest challenge was they didn't have enough clients, whatever that was. I've got the answer for that, and I can sell it to you for only $6 million. Not a good way to grow a lasting relationship. Now, let me tell you a story about somebody who gets the relationship. I was reading a book about customer service not long ago, and it was called Taxi Tommy or something like that. I'm not really sure what the name of the book was. I can look it up and put it in the comments. But it was all about this guy. It was all about a bunch of people in customer service, but the main focus was about this guy who owned his own cab. He was a one-man cab company. And that caught my interest because my ex-husband drives cab in Washington, D.C. And he's always talking about getting repeat customers, and people coming into town who've had him in the past will have his phone number and will call him. And it got me started to think about building a relationship in customer service. And this taxi company man was so cool. His income was all derived from repeat business. You would get into his cab and he would have a stack of magazines or different newspapers. And, "Hi, how are you this morning? I hope things are going well. Are you interested in, reading the Washington Times?" Or we have the Detroit Free Press, or, there's all these magazines here. If you want to read one of the newspapers, please just be my guest. Go ahead and take a newspaper. He would have 3 different air pots. One was full of coffee, one was full of decaf, and one was full of hot tea. "Would you like to have a cup of coffee? Do you take cream and sugar? Here, let me get you a cup of coffee." Whoosh on the air pot. Here's some cream. Here's some sugar. Enjoy. Would you want, you don't want coffee? Okay, fine. Would you like some tea? I have tea. It was all customer oriented. What can I do to help my customers to have a better time? Riding in a cab is not usually a lot of fun. What can I do to make this experience better for you? He had all of these pre-programmed radio stations. He had CDs with all this different music. You like rock? Here, we can listen to rock. You like classical? I've got some classical for you. What would you like to listen to while you're driving down the street? Oh, you don't want anything? No problem. We'll drive in silence. That's fine with me. Can you imagine a better experience if you are going to ride in a cab again? Wouldn't you rather ride with him? I was in a cab in New York City, and I had told the driver where I wanted to go. He's going the wrong way. I said, whoa, wait a minute. You need to go that way, not that way. And he gets really mad at me, and he starts yelling at me in a language I didn't even understand. And before I know it, the door had flung open, and he was literally throwing me out of the taxi cab into the arms of a policeman. Didn't go so well for the driver, did it? He wound up getting a ticket. But I fell out of the car. I had a bruised knee. I wouldn't ride with that guy again for love or money. If I knew it was him, I'd run in the opposite direction. No way would I ride with that guy. Now, the other gentleman I was telling you about, I would ask for a business card. I would ask for his number so that if I needed a cab again, I would call for him. Same thing now is true with companies like Uber and Lyft. You know, they're easier to create an environment in which you would like to drive in. But once again, it's all about creating relationships. The rest of this month, we're going to be talking about how do you create and work with people you know, clients you've had in the past, potential clients. We're going to be creating and building on relationships. So stay tuned for the next video when we are talking about using CRM systems, different systems that are out there to use. What the heck is a CRM? Why do you want it? And all that good stuff. So guys, start thinking about what you can do to make your customers and potential customers really want to work with you. And until next time, get out there, be productive, and soar higher. Take care, y'all. Bye-bye.